guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Nancy from nancybadijo.com and welcome to another episode of Etsy Shop Critique. If this is your first time in my YouTube channel and you are an Etsy seller, this is a place to be. I actually do videos for Etsy sellers, helping them increase their sales, teaching them all about SEO, branding, social media, and much more. So, if these are videos that you will be interested in learning more about, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and make sure that you give this girl a thumbs up. Show me some love by liking my videos, please. So let's go ahead and get started. Today, I'm doing a review on the shop called News Me Beauty, and I apologize if I'm saying it incorrect. The shop owner is Ursula. So thank you, Ursula, for letting me do a review of your shop. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to talk about before doing the audit is that if you are a new shop or if you already open a shop, let's say last year, and you have not done your taxes or pay taxes, make sure that you sign up for a program or some type of software like QuickBooks that will go ahead and let you do estimated payments. When you run an Etsy shop, you have to pay taxes quarterly, not at the end of the year. So therefore, you want to make sure that you are set up correctly. That way, you don't have penalties at the end of the year and you don't get yourself in trouble with the IRS because instead of now making money by the end of the year, you're gonna owe money and owe penalties on top of that as well. I will leave a link below to the software that I use. It's called QuickBooks. Now, I do recommend talking to your local CPA about taxes and things that you might have to know about the city you live at, but make sure that you set it up correctly. Um, that way, you have a successful business, that you're not always running low because of fees and other things that you have not paid or neglected to pay. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, the listing that I did an audit on is this one right here. Everything that I talked today about, whether it's resources or tools that I use, I will leave a link below with that information. That way, you guys, if you need it, you could go ahead and use it as reference. Now, the first thing I always talk about in my critiques are the photos, product photography. When I look at your photo, I really don't know what I'm buying, and that's a big problem because what happens is your photo, not only does it have to be exceptional, high quality, it looks amazing, it also has to, I have to be able to look at it and know exactly what I'm buying. If I look at it and I'm confused and I don't know exactly what I'm buying, guess what? I'm going to keep browsing and go somewhere else. You want to make sure not only that I know what I'm looking at, but also because there are people out there that might stumble across your photo by mistake, and maybe they weren't particularly trying to buy anything specific to bath and body products. However, they came across yours and said, oh my God, I need to have this. So just to be able to appeal to both customers, the ones that are looking for you and the ones that maybe weren't looking for you, but then they end up buying from you. So I do highly suggest that you change your photo. The first thing will be the background is too dark with the picture, so there's sort of distraction. I don't know what I'm looking at. It looks like a pie. It also looks like makeup, but then it also could look like some type of cake or some type of bread with gold on top. Not really sure, to be honest with you. So you have to make sure that your photo is compelling, that your photo is clear. It is the most important factor when someone is deciding to buy. The photo is what gets the person to click on the actual listing and learn more. And keep this in mind that a bad photo could prevent you from making a sale. No matter how amazing or wonderful your product is, if the photo is not up to date, it's not compelling, it's not clear, it's not using natural light, it it doesn't have like a clear background, you're not going to make the sale on that particular item. If you do, maybe you'll get lucky here and there, but you're not going to make the sales that you actually want. If you want to make this as a full-time business, maybe stop working your regular job. If you are working, you really need to take the photos seriously and improve them. Now, I do understand as an Etsy seller myself that in the beginning we wear so many hats. We have to learn photography, we got to learn SEO, we got to learn branding, cohesiveness, and so on. So if for some reason you have a difficult time with the photography, there's different things you could do. You could either hire a photographer and pay them money to do your designs for you. You could also use a light box. And let me show you what it looks like. You probably heard of me talk about this in my previous videos. You could buy one through Amazon. And this is a light box. And basically is a box that has a clear white background. You could do different colors. They have some that have like the black background and different colors, but I recommend just sticking with white. You put your picture in there, or you put the item in there, and then you're able to take a picture. And what it does is that it creates the illusion of a nice white clear background, no distraction. The picture will be very, very clear because it has really good lighting. This is what you need to get, because your products are small enough that you could get one of these little ones and put it in there. However, the way that you're doing now, that one that we are talking about, it really needs a lot of help, especially because I really don't know what I'm buying. But this is how it would look basically. And you put the product in there, you take a photo of it, and it just comes out really nice and clear, no shadows. So you definitely need to get a light box. If not, take natural pictures outside or hire a photographer, because you definitely need to do that. Another thing you should do is that you should have a text image saying, click here to favor this item. The reason why, I don't know if you notice this now, but whenever somebody favors an item on your shop or favors your shop, whenever you add additional stuff to the store, or you have like a sale, Etsy will notify those potential people that actually like your items, those potential buyers, that your store has a sale or that your store added new items. Therefore, it would drive additional traffic back to your shop. So it's just a nice way to it's a call to action telling the customer, hey, like my shop. Another thing I would suggest is adding another call to action saying, click below to view listing description. That way, you're telling people, hey, click on the actual listing, visit my shop. Um, Sometimes it does work when you do call to actions and you tell the customer. Some customers is their first time on Etsy, they don't really know how to navigate it. So by you telling them click, they'll click on it, and then you have a better opportunity to probably sell them, because now they're actually taking the time to look at your store, maybe browse the store, maybe read more on that listing description to learn more about the product and so on. Now, make sure that once you update your photos, keep in mind, use natural light, no flash. Include a common object for scaling purposes so people can know what size your actual item is. Make sure that you show the item either being held, worn, or used. So you could you could put it like in a bathtub, if this is for bath products. And make sure that you don't have nothing distracting from the photo. Make sure that the photographer, which is the first photo, has to be the best photo out of the bunch. Try to take different photos and try to do different angles of the product as well. So don't just do the same two photos. Like, these two look very, very the same. It just looks like you flipped it around. But other than that, it looks exactly the same. So make sure it has different angles to it. So the second thing we want to talk about is search engine optimization, also known as SEO. I know that this is something that you asked about, so we'll go ahead and discuss it as well. I use a tool called XRank, and it's free. They do have a pro version, but I don't use that one. I just use the free one, and it works perfectly fine. It's up to you which one you want to use. I recommend at least signing up for it if you have not done so yet. Now, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you use keywords that are, one, not over competitive, and two, not oversaturated. Now, looking at your store, all your keywords are oversaturated. That means that you're using keywords that everyone else is using, and it's going to be very hard for you to rank organically. And if you were to run an ad, it doesn't guarantee that your Etsy ad will land on page one. And on top of that, you're going to pay, your cost per click is going to be a little bit higher because there's a lot of people also running ads with that keyword. So therefore, you are going to pay a little bit more per click. So keep in mind that if you were to go to Etsy right now and you were to type in the word pumpkin, right? Let me show you how many other people are using that keyword. Sorry, I have a little bit of allergies today. So this is pumpkin here, right? So there's 292,000 people using the same keyword. So therefore, it's going to be really hard for you to rank for that keyword. Another thing you're doing incorrectly is that you're not targeting your target audience. You're just using any keyword. You did pumpkin, you did fall, you did autumn, you did cozy, you did beauty, vegan, and gift. These are keywords that are too broad. Broad meaning a pumpkin, when you type in the word pumpkin, it could be pretty much anything. It could be, as you can see, pooperee. It could be a pumpkin shirt. It could be a sticker. It could be a mug. It could be a mat. It could be decals. There's so many things out here. This is too broad. So someone that is looking for your particular item, if I was looking for a bath bomb made out of pumpkin, I wouldn't just use the word pumpkin because that's too broad. I'm going to get so many other things that I'm not looking for. So therefore, if you want to target your target audience, the first thing you must do is target people, how people search for items. So if I was looking for a pumpkin candle, I would put pumpkin scented candle. I wouldn't put candle because if I use the word candle only, I'm going to get all types of candle. But I'm looking for a specific candle. So I would put pumpkin scented candles. You have to do the same thing with your listing. So you will have to put pumpkin bath bombs. And that is more specific. That is for a target audience. That's for someone that is actually looking for that specific scent. So that's what you have to do. You have to change these keywords. Even if you were ranking for these keywords and they were in low competition, I would still tell you change them because they're too broad. Fall could be anything. Type it in. You'll see. A lot of things are going to come up. It could be wreaths. It's going to be pictures. It's going to be invites, t-shirts, mugs. I mean, as you can see, there's 769,000 people using that keyword. And look at all the things that come up with the word fall. So therefore, you are not targeting your audience. Now, you might get lucky once in a while and somebody, went to page 10 and found your listing and clicked on it. Okay, that does happen. But you're not going to make the sales that you want on a regular basis because it's going to be really extremely hard for people to, one, find you, two, targeted people are not going to find you, and three, you're using keywords that are oversaturated, so therefore you are on the, instead of being on page 1 of Etsy, this is page 1 of Etsy, right? You're going to be down here somewhere, page 8 of Etsy, or page 9, or page 200, depending. Now, keep in mind that when was the last time that you were looking for something and you went all the way to page 200 to find it? Never, right? Because people, if they go to page 2, that's a lot. If they might go to page 3 and they'll be like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm not gonna go after. I'm not gonna go more than that. So therefore, make sure that you keep that in mind. That you want to be featured in the page 1, maybe page 2, but in order to do that, you have to do the groundwork of looking for keywords that are not only targeted, but also low competition, That will help you with your listing. So one way to look for keywords would be, it's going up here on where it says get keywords idea, or you could go on tools, keyword tool. So there's different ways to get there. And you would type in pumpkin bath. I guess bomb is the proper way to say it, right? So let's see. Let's see what pops up. I spelled pumpkin wrong, sorry. Now keep in mind that you are in a saturated market as well. What you sell is very saturated. So another thing you have to keep in mind is, why should people buy from you when there's tons of other stores out there? So you have to make sure that not only do you have the best photos out there, that you have the best listing description, you have the best banner, that your shop looks the part from everyone else, that looks the best from everyone else. You don't want to look like basic, or like, oh, this is just another shop. You want the person to favor your shop, keep coming back, and love your products. But it's all about visual presentation, because you could have the best products, but if your visual presentation of your store is not the best, then therefore you're not going to get a lot of sales either. But this is a good one here, pumpkin bath bomb. That's very specific to what you're selling. It's low competition, so therefore it's a good keyword. So you will pick that one. Now, if we were to type this in on Etsy, you're gonna see a lot of stuff that's very similar to yours. You see, these are all pumpkin spice bath. It's not everything out there like a wreath. Why would a wreath be in this subject? This is what you want to do. You want to be very, very targeted with your products. That way you could get targeted audience. And you will use that one as a keyword. And then you go through the list. If you want to do like a Halloween one, or if you have one right now that's for Halloween, you will use that one. I don't know about orange bath bomb, unless it does gives it an orange look, then maybe you could use it. You'll know better than me about your products. Autumn bath bomb, that one was a good one for yours. Pumpkin bath bombs, that's a good one for yours. But you see how we're finding keywords? Pumpkin bath is easy. So we're finding them. You just have to do the work, and you have to make sure that you think about it in the sense of, don't think, oh, Christmas, Merry Christmas, New Year's. Don't use words like that. Be very specific to what you're selling. That's how you find your target audience. Because if I was looking for an autumn bath bomb, that's what I would put. I wouldn't put autumn, because then I'm going to get a whole bunch of stuff that I don't want. I'm not going to put bath because that's too broad. So I'm going to put as much as I know about the product that I'm looking for. So you have to do the same thing with this. If you're looking for shoes, right? Let's say you're looking for running shoes. You wouldn't put the word shoes only. It's too broad. There's tons of things are going to pop up. I would put running shoes or long distance running shoes. That way I could get specific shoes that are meant for me to run long distance. And therefore I get the best results. That's what you have to do with every single listing you have. You have to think about it in that manner. How are people going to search? And then go and find if that keyword is a good keyword. Don't just think of a keyword and then use that one as a keyword. You got to do the research first. So if you think autumn bath bomb will be a good one, you type it in here, and then you're going to get ideas and use those keywords. Once you start updating your keywords, you would take all the I will use all the green ones first. If you could get 13 green ones, like the ones that has low or very low competition, use those first. After, then you will use like the medium competition. Try to stick with ones that have less than 6,000 listings. I have learned from my stores that the keywords that have less than 6,000 listings actually do a lot better for me than the ones that have like 10,000. So it's just up to you, but I would stick with ones that have less than 6,000. Once you do your new keywords, now you have all the new keywords that you're going to use and you're going to replace. You're going to change all these keywords, all of them. Once you do that, you put your keywords here like you did. So you did a good job with that. You will stuff all your keywords, as many as you can. You would put the one that describes your item the best. You would put it in the beginning. I think that one was the one that we first saw. The pumpkin bath bomb. So you would put that one here, pumpkin bath bomb. That would be the first one, comma, and then the other ones. You would do the same thing here. This section is called the meta description, and it's an off-page SEO factor. So when people type in on Google search or Bing or Yahoo or any search engine, they type in pumpkin bath or pumpkin bath bomb, they're going to see this right here. See? This is a description. This is a Google preview. This is what people see on Google. So when they type in the keyword that they're looking for, whatever they're looking for, your listing description, which is this here, has to be very enticing for them to want to click because they don't have a picture to see. So this has to be very enticing for them to click on it and land on this page. So make sure that every listing you have, go back and include the keyword here. That main keyword that we talked about, let's say this was the main keyword, you would put it there and you would put it here as well. On the first 160 words, you should have your main keyword. That's an SEO factor. Now you will also distribute the additional keywords throughout your listing. So you want to use those keywords. The reason why you want to do that is because that's an on-page SEO factor. And what that does, it tells the search engine what that page is about. Plus, the more keywords you have on your listing description, the more you'll be able to rank for additional keywords. So you definitely want to include them. Now, keep in mind that it has to make sense. So don't just put a keyword anywhere and it doesn't flow. So it has to flow, but just make sure you do that. So now you have your keywords here. You have them in your listing description. You have them down here, all 13, which you did a good job with it. You just have the wrong keywords, but you did a good job. So you have it in the right category. You already had checked that, so that's great. So now you got that done, right? The third thing that I want to talk about is your listing description. So the listing description is basically what closes out the sale. So think about it this way, Ursula. The photo is what made them click on the actual listing, right? It's like, oh my God, I want to have that. The SEO is what made them found your photo, right? Like your listing. But then your listing description is what makes them want to buy from you because it describes everything about that product. So you want to make sure that you're very clear and you're very precise in explaining what you're selling. So you want to include everything and anything about that product. You want to include the color, the size, the shape, how many you get, the packaging, shipping policy, return policy, cancellation policy, how to contact you. You want to include all these items. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, guys, I had to blow my nose. So you want to include all these products. You want to be very specific with your buyer, what they're buying. The reason why is because it helps you, avoid unnecessary messages. So people won't be messaging you like, when is the shipping, or how long should I expect it, or how many does it come in a package? 2, it also helps you in the future if somebody was to open a case against your shop. Maybe they bought something from you. They're not happy. Now they want to say this was never explained. Well, if it was in the listing description, that's their fault for not reading, right? A lot of people don't read. This is another thing you're going to learn. Or maybe you already know, or maybe you already noticed. A lot of people don't read what they're buying. So it's important that you cover yourself as a seller. That way later on, you don't run into issues and you can always reflect back and say, hey, I do have this listed in the listing description. I apologize that, you feel that way or whatever it is at that moment. I do believe that you do need help with your listing description. It's too short. It's too short. Let me show you mine. So this is one of my marketing shots for Etsy sellers and entrepreneurs. And what I do is I divide it into sections. What's description, what you're buying, what's included, how to order, what you will receive, returns and policies, and then I also add a backlink to my front page, to my home page. The reason why a lot of times when people finish reading, they'll click here and it takes them back to like the Etsy search results and they leave my page. So you want to keep them in the actual store as long as you can. Depending on what you sell, like this is Instagram templates for Etsy sellers that you could use for your social media. And I have everything that's included, even the whole thing, like everything that you get with this is like 50 pre-made templates. You get to see here all of them. I include every single thing. That way, there's no confusion. This is what you have to do with your listing. You have to make sure that you include everything and anything that the customer needs to know about this product. And if you separate it into paragraphs like I did, it's just easier for the person to read. You have to make it very user friendly. So that's the best way to do it. If you do like a big chunk, like a large paragraph, it's hard to read and people they will miss things. But if you have it into sections, it's easier to read. So you definitely need to work on your listing description. So I highly recommend doing that because, like I said earlier, it will help avoid any confusion. It will build credibility with your buyers and it will make them click on the buy me now button. So you have to do that. Now, the last thing to kind of wrap this up is the curation of your shop. And what I mean by that is making sure that your brand looks trustworthy, that you have a cohesive look, that you have your policies updated, you have your about me section updated. Your policy section, you do need to update this. A little bit more information would be helpful. Your about me section, I like the fact that you did put some work in it. You did like a little presentation, like a little slideshow. I think that's nice. It's different. I never seen it before because normally people would just write their about me here. So I think this is nice. I like the fact that you have a photo of yourself. I think that people are emotional buyers. They want to connect with you. They want to know who you are, where you're from, why should I buy from you, what do you do, why you started this, why is your passion this. So I think that you did a really good job with it. Can it always look a little bit more polished, or can you update it later? Yeah, you can, because with time you'll start getting better at this. The more you do Etsy and the more you start doing product photography and you start looking at other shops and learning from other shops, you start like picking up stuff. You start learning and improving, and things that you are struggling now with, in like 4 months from now, you're gonna be a pro at them. So good props for this. You did a really good job with it. I think that, can you fix it up and spruce it up a little bit more? Yes, you can. Um, Now also keep in mind that you should have a cohesive look, meaning that when I look at this listing here, I know that that listing and this listing and that one came from the same shop. I don't get that feel right now because you have a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of colors. You have like this one that has a shadow. This one has like I think a pinkish background. That one has a blue. Um, this one has like a gray background. So it's too many different colors in my opinion. You should have all the same colors. The background should be all the same. Your photos should not be cut off like this. You see? It should be clear. It should be enticing. I should be able to look at it and say, I wasn't shopping for this, but I want this now. That's what you want. That's how you get more sales. When somebody looks at a product that they stumble upon by mistake and they're like, man, I have to have this chocolate espresso sugar scrub or whatever, whatever. I think this is a sugar scrub, I think. A sugar scrub. Yeah, a sugar scrub. I want that. That's what you want. This is actually pretty cool. Now, the picture needs work, but I think that the product will sell a lot. You want to make sure that your pictures are all the same size, that they all crop at like almost at the same angle. But you definitely need to work on your curation of your shop. You have to make sure that your shop looks clear, that people know exactly what they're buying. When they land on your shop, they know that this is a bath product shop. That they know that just from looking at the picture before they read anything. I like that you have your picture here. I will work on getting a logo done just so it could be look more professional. Good job with at least putting something up. I will work on your banner. I have links on the text box below where you could buy a banner. Somebody could create a banner for as low as $10. But I would definitely work on that, because then you could put on your banner, you could put like your, if you look at those big shops that sell a lot, what they have on their banner is that they have their website, they have their social media links, they have their hours of operation, they have their email, they have beautiful, amazing photos. That's what you want. You want to stand out. Why should I buy from your shop? What makes you the best shop out of every other shop out there competing with the same products? That's what you want to do. So you have to technically dress up your storefront. Make it the best looking storefront ever as possible, and make sure that your photos are the best looking photos as well. Now, looking at your reviews, obviously your products are good. A lot of people love your products. Everybody's, you got a 5-star review. That's amazing. So your products is not the problem. It's just the photo, tweaking the photos, the SEO, and writing a captivating listing description to close out the sale. These are the things that you have to change on your store to take it to the next level. Once you do these changes, make sure that you connect your shop to Google Analytics. I have a video on that. It's important that you know who your target audience is, who is buying from you, who is visiting your shop, so you could target those same people. I would recommend starting a newsletter. I have one in my shop. I did a video on that, on how to do something like this. How to add a tag at the end of your photos, and how to get them to join by using a link. So I will leave that. Oh, well, actually, the video is in my YouTube channel you're watching right now. Make sure you start a newsletter. You do it now, because that way you could target those same people. Every time you add a new product to your shop, or you have sales, you could send them an email saying, hey, just to let you know, we have new products. It's so important. It's easier for you to get a sale from a customer that you have than to retain a whole new customer. It's more expensive. So make sure you start a newsletter. If you don't know how to do it, I have a video on it. Make sure that you are paying attention to your analytics. So Google Analytics and your Etsy Analytics. Making sure you know what's selling, what's not selling, what's doing good, what are your conversion rates, what you need to focus on, and what you need to remove from your shop. Right? You need to do that monthly, not yearly, not every 6 months, monthly. And if you can't do it monthly, quarterly would be the most. That way you know exactly what works. And another thing is, you start looking at trends. You start knowing, okay, so my busiest months are January to June. And June through September is a little slow, and then it picks up again. You'll start understanding. There's a lot of people out there that are like, I was selling last month, and this month I'm not selling anything. I wonder why. Because they don't understand their shop. They don't understand who their audience is, when they buy, when is their peak seasons. They don't understand that because they don't take the necessary time to learn all this stuff. If you want a successful business, you have to treat Etsy like a real business, because it is a real business. You can't treat it like, oh, well, this is an online stuff. I didn't pay that much to get started. I guess it is what it is. At least I tried. You cannot have that attitude. And you also have to have the attitude of trial and failure. You're going to try this, try that, try this. You're going to fail, 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 fail. And eventually it'll start getting better and better and better. You might not even have to go through all those trials and failures. But if you do not get discouraged. This is how entrepreneur works, and this is how business works. And you're going to have your ups and downs, especially if this is your first time being in the e-commerce world. Is a lot to learn. So make sure that you stick with it. I know that you send me links to 2 of your channels. I think Instagram. Okay, so let's check out Instagram. So you have a nice following. That's actually pretty good. This is awesome here, that a portion of every sale goes to animals in need. I mean, people might buy from you just because of that. I mean, I know I would. I have 2 rescue dogs. I had like the link. There's I have a video on a tool that you can use. It's called Linktree. This is how it looks. Let me show you. This is my Instagram account here. And Linktree It's a link that you could add for free, and it lets you add additional links to your Etsy shop. So you could send traffic to, like, let's say your Facebook group or a Facebook page or your Pinterest page or somewhere else. Uh, I would add that to your Instagram. That way you could send traffic to other channels that people might be interested in following you. I love that you're using stories. I'm starting to use stories and I'm getting so much traffic from it. It's crazy. I've been doing it more on my photos of my baby, like doing stories on him. But I highly, highly recommend it because a lot of people are not doing it. So therefore, you'll get more exposure. I would do two, one in the morning and one in the evening. That way, there's always one running 24/7. That way, if one of your followers see it in the morning, later on in the evening, they have another one that they could see. So that's really good that you're doing that. Make sure that you post on a consistent basis. Social media means being social, engaging with other people. It means liking other people's posts. You have to spend the time to getting to know your audience. Good job of at least, trying. You put in your keywords. That's good. Your hashtags. That's good. Make sure also that with the hashtags, you do the same as the hashtags or the tags on Etsy, that you are using hashtags that are particular to what people are looking for your products, like targeted people. So just putting fall, I mean, that's okay once in a while, but try to be very specific to what you sell. That way you could get people that are actually looking for what you sell. Um, Now with Instagram also, it's the same thing like your shop. It has to be cohesive. It has to look like it's coming from the same shop, the same colors. If you look at mine, I try my best to be very cohesive. So pictures, the same colors, the same templates. So I try to make it very, very cohesive so it could look like it's my shop. So it could look like I'm telling a story. That's what you want. You are gonna mess up here and there. It does take a little bit of time to kind of get used to it, but once you do, you actually do pretty good. So overall, you've done a good job with your Instagram. You get a lot of engagement. So it looks like either you spend a lot of time on Instagram or you do really well with Instagram. Sometimes people we actually do really well. These pictures here actually don't look bad. Like this one, I would have like put it a little bit to the right and it looks a little blurry. Excuse me, but I like the colors actually. I don't know why. I just think it's pretty, especially this one is so pretty. Like right there, it's so pretty. Excuse me. So make sure that once you update your photos on your Etsy, you give the same look and style on Instagram. That's my biggest recommendation. Now for your Facebook, make sure that, excuse me, your banner is sized correctly. You see how it's getting cut off? That's a big no-no because this is your business. You want to make sure you treat it as a real business. Once you update your Etsy, and you update your banner there, use the same banner here, but just make sure it's sized correctly. Every social media has different sizing. Facebook has one size, Twitter banner has one size, LinkedIn has a different size. Keep that in mind. You could Google it, see the size, and resize it. If you buy it from someone, tell them, do you mind resizing it for Etsy, for my Facebook page, for my Twitter page, for any page you're using it? Ask them, can you resize it for that one? That way, when you upload it, it doesn't get cut off. Or it doesn't look distorted because you stretched it out too much. Make sure you remember that. Also, good job on putting the same profile picture here. Once you update you get a banner. A logo that we had talked about. Make sure you put it here. Facebook is the same thing. Post on a consistent basis. You haven't done since August 14th. So that's a big no. You have to post every single day if you can. At least 5 times a day. 5 times a week if you can do all 7. Now Facebook, I don't really waste my time with it too much. I post on a consistent basis because a lot of people do search for items or for businesses on Facebook. So you do want to have it. However, Facebook is one of those that if you're not spending money on ads or boosting, it's really hard for you to get some traction unless you go viral or you have amazing products and you get a large following. If you don't have either of two, then you have to post on a consistent basis so it could look nice and professional. But I will spend more time on Pinterest. I do Pinterest, and I think out of my Instagram and Pinterest and Facebook, Pinterest is the number one. This is one of my stores. At the current moment, I get 337,000 monthly views on Pinterest. Last month on my shop, I got over 1,900 clicks from Pinterest. It does work. I have a Pinterest video about it, how I grew my Pinterest views. I'm trying to grow this to 1 million views. So hopefully it will get there. It's actually more than that right now. It's just there's a delay. On Pinterest, it takes a couple days for it to grow, to update the actual number. So right now I'm at 354,000 monthly views, even though it's projecting that I am at the one that you just currently saw. So make sure that you sign up for Pinterest if you don't have one. It says I'm at 337. Make sure that you have one and then watch the video so you can learn how to create what I did for mine. But these are my suggestions for your shop, Ursula. I appreciate you letting me do a critique on it. I hope that you learned something from it. Guys, if you like critiques like this or if you like this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Also, I'm trying to create a sense of community that we all participate, we all help each other. If I didn't mention something about her products, or if you are in the bath product and you have any tips for her, leave a comment below. Let's create a sense of community that we help each other grow and we help each other thrive on Etsy. There's enough room for everybody to be successful. So let's go ahead and help each other. Leave a comment below, whether it's on the next video that you want to see, whether it's a comment about her shop or anything that she can improve that I didn't touch base on. Thank you guys for watching and have a wonderful day.